Hello, everybody. It is nice to see everybody again. My guest is running just a little bit late. It's okay. He's still going to make it. He just said that he sent me a message about half an hour ago saying that he would be about 10 minutes late, which honestly is okay because 10 minutes is just about the exact right amount of time for me to go through the comments and share my Kickstarter so that we'll be all ready to share his Kickstarter when we get back here. We have the great Dan Holofield saying good evening. And I don't know why I did your voice like Alfred Hitchcock's, but I guess it was just fun. Joe Bachman is here. Speaking of Joe Bachman, the sponsor of the show is the Independent Creator Directory. If you want to join, talk to Joe Bachman. He's on all the social meteors. The lovely Donna Carlene is here. Hi, Donna. Donna says don't forget to like and share. That is good advice, Donna. And she's saying hi to Dan and Joe. And the legendary Carl Witzman is here. To which Donna says, hey, WD. And when she says WD, she means Witzman dude. She does not mean WD 40. The lovely Don Dulles is saying hello. Actually, she's saying good evening. Hi, Don. How you doing? Your cat picture on your profile is so cute. Carla's saying hi to everybody. And the always lovely Marvin Wynn is saying hello to everybody. Carl's saying hi to Marvin and Don. Marvin is saying hi to Carl. Don is saying that I am fuzzy. Is he fuzzy to me or to everybody else? I think I look a little bit fuzzy. Let's see if I wipe. I don't know. Do I look any better or am I still fuzzy? I don't know. I wiped my camera off, but I might have gotten like finger grease on it, so it might be even worse. Let me turn this light off. Let me know if I look better without that light. Don is saying Indie CD is going on a total overhaul right now. The site is unavailable, but Joe's working in the background to rebuild it from the ground up. Yeah, I should probably mention that when I do my little ad for Indie CD. I mean, I always want to do my little ad, but I should probably say, hey, if you want to check out the indiecd.org, don't do it right now. But Don is also saying that Georgette, that is the cat. Well, Georgette is very sweet and very cute, Don. And Don is saying that I'm fuzzy. Hopefully, me turning that light off helped. And Carl is saying that it's in the shadows. Yeah, I think that's why turning off the light did better. Yeah, that's what Donna is saying. So since Dawn is here, Dawn is saying she's one of my babies. He. Since Dawn is here, and since we have a little bit of time to kill, I'm going to bring this up. And I know how much Dawn loves this video, so I'm going to play the video.
Greetings, ghouls and boils. I'm the Ghoul Master, a loving homage to horror anthology narrators of yesteryear. Wait, I'm an homage? Why didn't anybody tell me? You'll hear from my agent about this. But first, let's get to the heart of the matter. I'm here to tell you about the new horror anthology, Memoirs of the Morbid, on Kickstarter in time for Halloween. Memoirs of the Morbid is a black and white homage to classic horror comics from the 40s and 50s, containing 5 self-contained stories by some of the best indie comic creators out there. There's that word again. I better not find out homage is an insult. Anyways, Memoirs of the Morbid is completely done and ready to go to the printer. So don't make a grave mistake by missing it.
Yes. Oh, wow. This project is at 69% of its goal. Um, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to make a big deal out of that because, I'm a very mature, reasonable adult. And I've long since outgrown being entertained by stuff like the number 69. Um, but if you guys want to make jokes about it, you can. So just so you know, we still have 3 weeks to back it. I mean, I prefer you guys back it tonight, but like I said, we're at 69%. I think we're gonna make it the rest of the way. Uh, yes, Carl is saying nice on the 69. Don is saying squee. Yes, I did. Ted heard me. It makes me very happy that uh, I made something that makes people as happy as the Memoirs of the Morbid trailer seems to make people. Because I've heard you guys talking about the trailer even on other shows besides my show, and I always think like, you know what, that's pretty cool. If you can make something that people enjoy that much, it makes me very happy. But you guys should check out more than just the trailer. There's This comic book is really cool. Angie had the idea for, well, I don't know. Angie and I both kind of had the idea for Job Corps, which is a a employment agency that specializes in undead employees, except that they don't call them undead employees. Uh, they call them post living because obviously undead has a negative connotation to it. Carlos saying nice on the 69%. Donna is saying that the chat isn't that mature. What? This is shocking to me, Donna. How dare you say that about our illustrious chat? We have at least 3 former senators in our chat and several clergymen. And Don is also saying, I believe I was the first backer this time. I could check, but I don't want to, since I'm sharing that screen, I don't want to give all your personal information away. So I'm not going to check. But I think you're right. I think you are the number 1 backer. But look at how cool the covers look. They're a bunch of really cool artists who did covers this time. But yeah, Memoirs of the Morbid is an awesome comic book. You guys should all check it out. What are you guys saying in the chat? I can see you guys arguing. Don says, I am offended by your statement, Donna, mainly because I relate to it. Donna says, oh, whoops, why am I not on the screen? There I am. Hi. Donna says, those are the ones that are the least mature. And Donna is laughing. Donna mocks Don with her laughter. Carl says, I am ordained from the place that does it for $50, but it counts for marriages in our state. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. So if I have any friends who want to get married, I can send them to you. Um, I was talking about getting ordained. I don't know. One of our friends was thinking about getting ordained just so that he could marry Angie and I. That makes it sound like we're doing like a polyamorous thing, but you know what I meant. Like, uh, we'll have like, yeah. I mean, Angie and I call each other husband and wife. But we're actually not actually married. I don't know if you guys know that. Don says, yes, Grant, own it. The word homage belongs to you now. So Carl says, I specialize in fandom marriages. Okay, what do you mean by fandom marriages? Do you mean like Star Wars weddings or what? Angie and I were thinking about doing a Superman and Wonder Woman themed wedding, but I don't know if I want to be quite that nerdy. I don't know. Oh, DP Brown is now in the house. So Donna says, don't do it, Grant. The two marriages he was supposed to perform never happened. Oh, Don, I didn't know that you weren't. Donna's saying after 19 years, we don't correct people when they refer to us as husband and wife. I didn't know that you guys weren't actually married. And Carl says he would like to do Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who weddings. Well, speaking of married men, I don't know. I couldn't think of a good segue. Here is my good friend Dawg Pound Brown. You there, buddy? There you are.
What is up? What is up? What is up? What's going on with you? Happy to be on the show today.
There we go. Sorry, I'm not good at coordinating these things. How's it going, DP?
Good, good, good. How you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm doing great. So, for those of you who don't know, DP was you were originally from Cleveland, and then you came
Yep.
to Pittsburgh for a while, and that's how you got involved in the whole Comicsburg thing. And then eventually, you ended up moving to Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah. Just
Which is
hopping
where you live
state.
now.
Yeah.
So
Just hopping
how
doing that.
how are you adjusting to Georgia?
Georgia's good. Georgia's good. It's I was just talking to somebody. It's great to live in a place where it's not raining all the time, spoiling some things to do with the kids and everything. So yes, the weather's good. The people have been like really welcoming and everything. Done a few shows and stuff here. So it's been a good experience so far for me. We've been talking about moving down south for like, a long time, and finally got to a point where we got the opportunity to do that, and just went ahead and took advantage of it.
Yeah, you're one of those weird people who likes to be outside. So you
We
like the fact that it
outside.
doesn't. See, I like living in Pittsburgh because it rains a lot, so I have an excuse to not go outside. I can just sit around and read all day.
Hmm. Yeah, you don't have like younger kids too, so they're not always constantly asking you, "Can we do this, Dad? Can we do that?" Not
Well, my,
anymore.
I mean, you've met my kids. They're not outdoorsy types, anyways. They like to stay in and read and play video games and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. Take after their dad.
exactly. So Donna's saying a bunch of us will be in Georgia for HaloCon. Yeah,
Oh,
sounds like a lot of fun. You might actually think about doing that, DP.
yeah.
I'll hook you up with the guys, the gentleman who organizes that convention.
Yeah, yeah. Looking to get into a few more shows. When I get this novel, I can't wait to get that out. I'm definitely going to start expanding outside of the whole, pop culture, comic stuff, and actually do like some book shows and stuff. So I'm excited about that.
So Don is saying that it's in Dalton. Do you know where Dalton is?
Dalton, Georgia. I want to say that's north of where I'm at, but I could be wrong. So I'm getting familiar with like some of these states. I mean, I'm sorry, some of these cities, here and everything. So, but I want to say that's like right north where I'm at. I'm over in like the Dallas area, right on the edge of Cobb County, Atlanta.
Well, Don, let me know if there's still tables available. Maybe not. I mean, if not this year, there's always next year, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always something. It's always something to do. There's always conventions and stuff. Just like up north, there's always something going on down here. So it's always something to get into. 30 miles of Chattanooga. So yeah, that would be north. Yeah, north of where I'm at. Because Tennessee is like right above.
So let's not kill any more time. Let's not that we were necessarily killing time, but this is all important stuff to talk about. But the main topic of the night is that you have a Kickstarter, right?
I have a Kickstarter going on. I mean, it's happening. As you see right there, the Theme of Thieves book one, the Crazy Man Returns. It's a 168-page trade paperback that collects the first 4 issues that was in stores last year. We did a really good. You remember the coming out the party that we had last year. With our stuff and
Yeah.
everything, and it was a really good success. The stores didn't really the books had done really good in the stores last year and everything. And I was blessed enough that I actually put this into like a trade paperback form. So basically, I'm trying to raise money to get the rest of that money up so we can continue putting this in stores once it gets finished and everything next year.
Yeah, I mean, you and I kind of had a little bit of a stumbling block just in that our comic book distributor was facing like some financial problems, but you're up on Kickstarter now, so that's the important thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Kickstarter always brings in like, backers. It's a really good welcoming platform for comic book creators. You have a bunch of comic book Kickstarters. If you want something that's outside of the realm of like Marvel and DC, then for people that's dedicated to trying to dedicate themselves into putting good quality, good product and stuff out, coming to Kickstarter is a really good way to discover some of the up and coming stuff, some of the stuff that you can't really get in stores, some of the stuff that is like really exclusive to your particular backer. So not only are you getting like the product, you're getting extra stuff, with these Kickstarters and everything.
So I was gonna play the trailer. Do you want to see if you can explain the comic book first, or do you want me to play the trailer first?
Yeah, so the Theme of Thieves is about 2 teams and a mysterious being, that guy right there in a red suit, man in a red suit that you see, and traveling they're traveling through time and they're trying to solve a mystery of why people disappear in the present. So if you like Lost, if you like Quantum Leap, if you like The Wire, Grant has heard me do this spiel like many a times over. You'll definitely, enjoy the Theme of Thieves, because those are like 3 of my favorite TV shows. I decided to take inspiration from and put them in, into like a book. So yeah, you can go ahead and play the trailer. I can talk a little bit more afterwards.
This your friendly neighborhood DP Brown, writer and creator of The Theme of Thieves and co-owner of Comicsburg.
I really enjoyed these 3 comics here. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's definitely a very heavy storyline.
My name is DP Brown, and I'm the creator and the writer of The Theme of Thieves. I'm from Cleveland. Look, I love comics, and I created a time-traveling adventure that will teach as well as entertain you.
The Theme of Thieves is about two teens, Rebecca and Jason, and a mysterious being called the Man in the Red Suit, who travel through time to try to solve the mystery of why people are disappearing in the present. So when the Kickstarter is done, I plan to finish the artwork for the issue, do a small print run for all my backers, make the exclusive metal items and stickers for the campaign, and also put funds towards making issue 5. I want to thank everyone in advance who made it this far in the video. But don't take my word for it. Here are some others who checked out The Theme of Thieves.
It's a great book. I can't wait to see what DP has for the rest of the series.
Theme of Thieves is great, and I'm curious to see where this goes, see how these characters change and evolve, and what the mysteries are unfolding, because there's still a lot to be uncovered of why people are disappearing.
And all of those Crazy Man scenes are always really well done. Guys, I really, really dig those sequences. But what changes with those sequences is the way that I interpret that character in the story. No, this dude is just being thrown around and doesn't understand it either, which I like. It's like a whole different phase of the character I did not know was going to happen. You took me by surprise, DP. You took me, and now you got me.
So this is a sample copy. So basically what you're getting in book 1, the first 4 issues that was in stores last year. And you will also get a bonus copy preview of Echo of Evanescence, my new novel that will be coming out in stores next year. I cannot wait for you guys to see this book. And I cannot wait for you guys to get real excited about what's happening in the issues and also in the book that'll be coming out next year in stores. Okay. So you actually get a 24-page preview when you get the graphic, or when you get the graphic novel trade paperback.
Here's what I need you guys to do. Go to the story section in this Kickstarter. There's a preview to my comic. If you like what you see, make the pledge.
You're always such a good salesman. Appreciate that.
I'm sure my dad will love hearing you say it, or you hearing you say that.
Was he a salesman too?
Oh yeah, he was born a salesman. I took more the art side, but I had to realize that I had to get out here and actually try to get people to know about it. So that's where the sales acumen, so-called, comes in and everything. I try to do my best, but you got to let people know about the product and everything. Hey, you're not such a bad salesman yourself, there, buddy.
Thanks, DP. So this is the trade paperback now. This is collecting what issues? What, 1 through 4?
1 through 4, and also with the trade paperback, you like the guy said in the video, you get a bonus 24 pages of my new novel called Echo of Evanescence, who I co-wrote with Jessica Sims.
Right.
Grant knows Jess. She, shout out to her.
Maybe we should have them on the show.
Yes.
Are you guys going to have a separate Kickstarter for the book?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. I'm hoping to have that done to make the 100 campaign thing that they do every January. So when that comes, we'll let everybody know. But I co-wrote the novel with her. It's called Echo of Evanescence. It's about 2 detectives who I debuted in this trade paperback that I'm doing, and it's a prequel to them investigating people who disappear. So in my universe, people randomly just disappear for no rhyme or reason, and it's been happening for like the past 200 years or so. And it's still happening in the present, and people don't know why. So they developed this agency in the universe called World Department of Natural Phenomena, who basically is like an X-Files type of thing that basically investigates people who disappear and tries to determine whether the disappearance are real or disappearance were just fake or what have you. And they try to debunk like a lot of the events that happened. So my 2 detectives in this Echo of Evanescence novel basically investigate a girl who's supposedly come back from the evanescence that has happened. and we basically get into like, family drama, small town drama. It takes place between like, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, so the detectives go like back and forth from there. So you'll see like some sort of sites and stuff, and hear some sort of or read some sort of sites and stuff. Get familiar with a lot of the lingo and everything that travel between both of the cities, because I'm very familiar with both. But yeah, you get the preview in the graphic in the trade paperback here, and like I said, it takes place. The novel takes as a prequel to this trade paperback here.
Yeah. Okay. So the prequel takes place before this story. Okay. So is this like when people first start getting lost or being
No,
abducted?
great question. Great question. So this takes place about a year before the events that happen in this trade paperback here. So it's still going and everything. I decided the reason why I wanted to do the novel was to sort of expand the universe and everything, and sort of get like people's perspective on the events that happen in my universe and stuff. So basically, this is just like a one-off story that'll continue. If it's successful and everything, and I want to continue to tell more stories that's outside of the time travel aspects of it. So in the book, nobody time travels. The only supernatural aspect is people just disappearing. That's it. Versus when you go to the trade paperback, you get more sci-fi, science fiction, type stuff.
Cool. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I've got all of DP's comics, and they're fun.
Yeah, you get some really good stuff in there too. You're seeing pictures of all the people that were involved. Shout out to Dan Ickes, Ruben Gonzalez. He's a Marvel Comics artist that I was blessed enough to get when Dan wasn't able to do my third and fourth issues. He was able to actually come in and get some of the stuff done. He's done stuff like Transformers, Ant-Man for Marvel. And some other stuff for like DC and everything. So I was blessed enough to get him, and he also does my coloring and everything now too. Marco Delavere, who does my lettering, makes me just look legit. So shout out to anybody who could do lettering out there. You guys got a really good you guys got really good acumen and stuff to get stuff done. Oh yeah, we got like a retailers bundle in there too for stores.
That's always
So if you're a retailer, go to like the retail section of my Kickstarter, and you'll get 5 books plus a book signed for your store and everything, all for just $65, and also throw in like some stickers and everything for you too. So basically just go to that section, and we got like the Comicsburg bundle. I mean, I can't do a Kickstarter without bundling Comicsburg stuff. So you get like the trade paperback, you'll get Grant stuff, Beowulf right there you see, and also The Edge, the first volume trade paperback. You get all 3 of those, in a whole bundle. Yep,
that's
Marvin
Marvin's
Wins Comics.
It's also in the chat.
Yep. Marvin is in the chat.
It says here, if you like Lost, Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, The Wire, and Quantum Leap. Now, I still haven't sat down and watched The Wire, so I don't know. I know everybody
it's
says
a good
that.
it's a good watch. So watching The Wire is just like watching a novel unfold, and all the details that go into. You would think it's just a straight crime, straight crime show, cops and robbers, cops, and like the drugs, bad guys with the drugs and everything, but they get really detailed about it, and the way they posit stuff and tie stuff back is one of the things that I take from that as far as inspiration and stuff. And plus they get into the weeds as far as how people's how characters are and everything. Yes, let's go ahead and drop that link. So you're totally right. Why are we talking about this stuff and not dropping a link? So I'm gonna drop the link right here in the chat here.
We speak.
I'll drop the link in the chat. Bam, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Put it in
dropping the link.
Did you put it in the in the private chat or the regular one?
I just dropped it along with you, so they should be seeing it as well. Thanks for shouting that out, Donna. Appreciate you. You know, hope you go back and pledge and everything. You know, we got digital versions. You know, if you don't want the paperback version, but if I encourage you to get that paperback version because it's a really solid square bound thing that you put on your shelf. If you don't like floppies and stuff and like getting more like the square bound stuff to put on your shelf, it's a really great way for you to have something else for your trade paperback collection and stuff. You know, I said sometimes Grace needs brought it.
So I was going to go through the chat real quickly here. Paige is saying Paige is a good guy. We know him as well. I don't think I've ever, I'm sorry.
Footpath. We got the Footpath Kickstarter going on right now. So that's Paige.
Oh, he has a Kickstarter as well.
Oh yeah. We've been so Grant, you haven't been part of the Comicsburg show every Friday. You're gonna get on it. You're gonna get on it because this is my co-owner right here and everything. He's gonna get on it. So but yeah, we've been going through like all the Kickstarters, yours as well, Memoirs of the Morbid.
I appreciate
but yeah, we had Paige had to get on me for not putting his his Footpath on, so I gave him a quick shout out at the last minute there and everything. But yeah, Footpath is another Kickstarter that's right on our Comicsburg site.
So DP, if you have the link to it, if you want to send it to me in the private chat, I can post it. Or I think you can post it as well. I'm not sure. You want to put that in the chat? You can put Marvin's Kickstarter in the chat too if you want to.
Yeah, I'll do that. Everything that's no problem. Well, yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, so trying to make it happen.
Somebody called Comicsburg is saying he's just a few dollars away. I'm guessing Comicsburg is UDP, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm streaming it right now to our other channels and everything. So I'm piggybacking off your stream here.
So Marvin is saying make the pledge.
Make the pledge. He's doing the make the pledge dance in his background.
So Don is saying, did you know I am on the Holocon staff? I may have shared DP's info with Chris. Awesome.
Oh, Donna, appreciate you. Thank you. All right. I'd love to be a part or at least come down just to see, if I can't get in this year, definitely like next year and everything,
Oh, okay. So Donna is saying that the link didn't work. Why wouldn't that have worked? Okay. Here, let me see why it's not working.
Yeah, let me well, if that link doesn't work, I have another. I don't know why that link wouldn't work, but we have other ways to get you guys involved. So, and then don't be afraid to just go like to the Kickstarter page and you can look up Theme of Thieves. And we're right there, just to look at it. So I'm gonna drop another link in here. And then I'm sure Grant will have this in like the show notes and stuff too.
So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go back. I'll get the whole.
There you go, Donna. I put another link in there, so hopefully that'll work.
You got it?
Yeah. I'm gonna put Norman's in here too. And then you can always go to comicsburg.com too. All our stuff is like right on the website right there. So
okay, so you put the long one. Okay, so hopefully that works.
Yeah, hopefully that works. I'm gonna put Footpath in there too right quick.
I think that's a good idea to put as much as you can in it, just to make sure that it works. Oh, and you got Marvin's as well. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on lately. It seems like everybody involved in Comicsburg has a Kickstarter out, right?
Yeah, I think this is one of the very rare months where we actually all have a Kickstarter going on at the same time. We have like, Footpath, we have yours, Memoirs of the Morbid, we have the Blaine Kickstarter going on. We got Trillion, we got, of course, mine, the Theme of Thieves and everything. So we're putting all types of links and stuff for you guys to get into and everything.
Yeah,
And like I said,
I need to get William on the show.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think I've ever had him.
Yep. You need to come on our on your show, the comics, the Comicsburg show on Friday nights at 7. Where we talk about everything comics and Comicsburg. We talk about some random stuff. Last week we talked about do you still believe in comics and stuff, and everybody went around and just talked about their comics inspirations and what they like about the industry now, what they don't like that's happening right now, changes in the industry with like, the distribution and stuff. So yeah, we had like a really good time this past week.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to sit down and watch the last episode, but it sounded interesting.
Mhm.
So, what did you mean by do you believe in comic books? And do you
Well,
have
I mean, it's a thing that I'm always thinking. I mean, we're constantly on the grind doing this thing, time after time and stuff. And we're doing the conventions after conventions and stuff. We're trying to get our stuff out there into the stores and stuff. And sometimes you got to take a step back, especially as a creator. Do you still believe in this thing? Do you still believe in the power of comics, the work that it does to put them together, for people who read and fan stuff? Do you still believe in, the stuff that you've been reading, the changes that have happened over the years and stuff, things, put into like, Marvel and DC and the changes that, they've been going through and stuff, stores shutting down, stores opening and stuff. So it's a relevant, questionable topic. So that was just one of the topics I decided to, broach, and we'll talk about something else, probably this Friday and everything. So
so
trying
your
to figure out what to talk about.
so the comics book show is more of like a panel discussion
Hmm.
type thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, not only we talk about Comicsburg stuff, but we're talking about just all types of things. Like this week, we're going to talk about our comic book movies killing the comic book industry. So we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll
I
be
mean
talking
that's
about
something
that Friday at 7.
right, exactly. Um, yeah. So, I mean, we're doing a convention this weekend. We're doing the Bells Comics anniversary event. But if I get home early enough on Friday, maybe I'll stop in and we'll talk about comic books, right?
Donna said it worked. Cool, Donna. Thank you. Thanks for
Yay! Thank God
checking
for
it
that.
out. Appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is just something that, and ever since that, I got with Comicsburg, it's been expanding my whole horizon. Traveling with you guys, going to, Heroes Con and meeting you up, and since I've moved down here, I've gotten a chance to meet up, halfway to Heroes Con and
Right.
chill with you guys and stuff. It's always just fun, just hanging with the fellas and swapping stories and digging on each other and everything. Always got to rag on each other. And so, some people take it a little bit too seriously. Some people don't. So, shout out Manny anyway. Uh, but here,
But
Herrenberg's in the house too.
oh, he is. I didn't see him.
No, I'm just saying, shout out to Manny from Herrenberg. So we
Oh,
always
okay.
got to make sure that he gets his shout out too.
Exactly. Yeah. He might be working tonight, but he watches the show occasionally. But yeah. So you've been doing Theme of Thieves for a while. You were
Mhm.
doing Theme of Thieves before you met us, correct?
Yeah, I started Theme of Thieves probably around I started it just before COVID happened. I got the story and everything together just before COVID happened. COVID happened, and then I was able to work on it a little bit more because I had a little bit more time at home, and was able to do my first Kickstarter. I believe that I want to say that December. No, it wasn't that December. Like that January of that next year and everything, 2021. But I had the story just rumbling in my brain for like, about a good 5 years before I was actually able to put it down on paper and break it all down. And you may think that, okay, 5 years, that's a long time to have a story and not have it really put it down. As a writer, sometimes it's tough coming up with like, concepts and making sure everything is all aligned like how it's supposed to be. At least for me, I can't speak for Grant or anybody else and stuff, but stories. I don't drop stories like James Gunn. Just write them and just put them out and everything. So it takes some time for me to put stuff together, and get it out there. I feel like I've been actually spending a lot more of my time doing the business side of this, than actually creating more stories and stuff. So I want to get back into the more creator side, so I can
That's the
start
hard
cranking out
part,
more
right?
stuff. Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that can be frustrating, right? When you sit and you think to yourself, "Man, it's been days since I did anything creative. I've just been focusing on the business end." But unfortunately, that's the reality of making comic books nowadays. I mean, unless you have a publisher, which obviously there's negative sides to that too.
hmm
But
yeah. Um, Sometimes I think I rather. I mean, I think we all just want to do this at a full time status instead of working our 9 to 5s or what have you. It'd be nice to have some overhead. Somebody comes out and buys Comicsburg and gives us all money so we can all do our projects and not have to worry about the business side of it. Let somebody else handle all that because we're more the creators. But the reality of it. Oh, thanks, Don. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Yeah, the reality of it is that you have to do the business because we don't make these things in a vacuum just to please ourselves.
right, exactly,
We
exactly.
want to get it out there.
So Don is saying if you're bored, you can come hang with Donna and Carl and me and Dan at HowlCon. So I think she's gonna hook you up with the guy who runs that convention. So
Yeah, that sounds like excellent. So yep, yep. So Don, I will definitely looking and doing into that.
Don is saying good night, and Carl is saying good night to Don. So have a wonderful night, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Um,
Appreciate you.
yeah. So okay. So why did you choose to do the prequel as a novel as opposed to a comic book or a graphic novel?
Well, one is that it takes a while for the artwork to come back, you know, for some some of some of these issues and everything. So I thought that if I did a novel, it would it could expand my story, a lot better than doing a comic. Plus, I wanted to. It's sort of like a marketing thing as well. I wanted to expand my market base outside of the comic stuff because every time I do these conventions, I find like a lot of people do read novels. They don't necessarily read comics. And sometimes they ask, are you gonna write a novel or do something of the sort and stuff. So I just decided, okay, if I want to expand my market base, then maybe doing a novel and doing other types of conventions and putting stuff out in a novelization type form, or just expand that market base. I mean, and this is the thing that we also talked about. Comics is still as great as they are, is great of art form. They take over pop culture and stuff. It still has that stigma of being for not being taken as seriously as like a novel and stuff. So while I take the platform of comics very much to heart and stuff, like I said, I just want to try the novel stuff, see how that works, and like I said, just expand the market base.
Yeah, I mean, we did a literature fest this weekend,
Hmm.
and we're always saying, yeah, I mean, we love doing these literature fests because I don't know. Sometimes it does feel like um, book fans are a little bit more enthusiastic than comic book fans. At least that's been my experience.
Well, comic books fans have their own side of enthusiasm. I haven't experienced like the lit side, as far as that yet. So I'm interested to see how that is. But I know they could be real dedicated. I mean, just as like, comic books, stuff. It's just a different form and everything. I don't the two um cross over, and I would love to see like some sort of stats as far as how much the stuff crosses over. But but you got a lot more book readers out there than comic readers, so there's that too.
Yeah, I mean, we heard that all weekend. People saying like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not a comic book person," and I always think like, well, why not? Um, there's nothing stopping you from being a comic book reader.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird. It does seem like there are people think that it's some kind of niche audience for comic books, right? Or there's some type of stigma like, oh, I can't read comic books because it's just not for me. I don't know. I don't
I
get it.
mean, some people think, okay, well, you need pictures to aid you in your reading. I mean, it's been that stigma since like the 30s and 40s and all that stuff that comics are for kids. They have like too much cartoon colory stuff. You need the aid of pictures in order to help you read. Comics are for people who can't really read that well or what have you. Whatever stigma stuff, and like Carl said, diversifying is really good. I mean, you got to expand that stuff. So for all for people who just like novels and stuff, I mean, I think you're really missing out on a really good art form and everything. Somebody was talking to me the other day about Watchmen. They said they gave their gave Watchmen for somebody to read, and they say, okay, this is a comic. Everybody knows that Watchmen is one of the seminal works, that rivals stuff in like novels and everything. But to say it's just a comic, think about the connotation, just a comic.
Yeah.
That's a little bit, and I think it's something that we're doing at Comics where we're trying to change or trying to further that narrative that the things that we do aren't just comics and stuff. These are things that people that we put our hearts and creativity, creative abilities too. It takes a lot for you to think of a story that expands like the whole Beowulf, mythology and stuff. To do that for Marvin with the Edge and everything. To go outside like the regular GI Joe and X-Men type realm just to put a bunch of characters together and everything. So same way with what we got doing with Theme of Thieves and stuff. Just think of something outside of the box to catch people's attention and to hopefully make them realize that this is a medium worth reading and looking into.
Yeah, I think that's true. So is the idea kind of to hook people with the prequel, and then maybe people will be like, okay, that was cool. Maybe I'll give the rest of the stuff a shot.
I think that was my initial thing, and then we started writing a novel, and I'm thinking about, okay, I could tell this story, I could tell this story, maybe not so much in a comics form, and I can just dedicate my comic stuff to like I said, more the time travel sci-fi, realms, and getting the visuals out for that because I'm still comics first. But
Yeah.
the novel stuff I can sort of expand like a lot of more individual, personal, intimate type stories.
It would be cool if you did like a hybrid, like comic
Hmm.
book and book. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hey, it's
Um,
it's all on the table.
so I know you're writing this book with a mutual friend of ours, Jess. Um, how did that work? Did you explain to
Hmm.
Jess what you wanted to happen, and then they sat down and wrote it, or
Yeah.
did you?
So yeah, Jess is a big fan of fan of my work and everything. She's read all my stuff with the Theme of Thieves and stuff, and I've been really wanting to work with her on some projects and stuff. So I got with her like last year and told her my ideas about this, and she pretty much knowing everything that happens in my universe was able to pitch me on which what her thinking was, and then I came back to her and said, okay, this is based on what she was telling me, this is how I want it laid out, and then we started just collaborating. She was did more or less like the scribing and writing and everything, and I told her different where I wanted the characters to go, how I wanted them to talk and feel and everything, and where I wanted the story to end up at and everything. So, but yeah, she did like a lot of the heavy lifting, but basically I came up with all the characters, the story and everything that that you'll see when that comes. I know that you'll get in that 24-page preview when you're back.
Right, exactly. Don't forget about that. So I usually like to keep these under an hour. Do you want to maybe talk about what's up next for you after you release the prequel book, and then maybe give people where they can reach you online?
Yeah, absolutely. So after this Kickstarter is done, I will do a mini Kickstarter because I will also have a soundtrack that goes with it. Okay, so
Oh,
it's a eight instrumental type soundtrack that goes with it, and I'm also working on many YouTube videos that sort of like have like explainers and everything that goes along with this, sort of like just to give the whole project some heft. And the soundtrack, pretty much goes to that and the trade paperback. So that'll be along in the next month or two, and then we'll do the Echo of Evanescence novel Kickstarter. And then my plan is basically once that's all that's set to just go out and start selling and to conventions and just putting these bundles together and getting it out there, getting it in the stores and everything.
yeah, that's right. I remember you've done soundtracks in the past.
Yeah, in my former life, I used to be a music producer, but no, not anymore. But I brought a little bit of those elements back.
Well, that's fun. And so, did you want to mention, what social media you're on?
Yep.
Where
So
people can find
you can find me at Dawg Pound Brown. So I'm on all your favorite social media platforms: X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure that you also can also go to Comicsburg at Comicsburg all over the social media platforms as far as that. So at Dawg Pound Brown at Comicsburg, you will find everything Theme of Thieves related and all our Comicsburg stuff. You can also go to themeofthieves.com. That's a dedicated site for all content, the Theme of Thieves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it sounds like you got a lot going on right now, DP. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Good
Thanks
luck.
for letting me on.
You're about 80% of the way towards your goal.
84. There's a few more dollars, guys. I can get my grand. Get to funding and everything. Yeah, we got about 19 more days to go. So
I think you're going to do that. And Carl is saying good luck to you. So
thanks, Carl.
I think he's saying good luck to both of us. So thank you so much, DP. I'm going to call it a night. And yes, Hannah has to bring up that I'm at 69%.
Donna, Comicsburg is always 100% when it comes to Kickstarter. So I'm not worried about any of our projects not reaching goals. So
I think she was more I think she was more bringing up, she likes that number, 69.
Oh, 69, not 67, 69. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. The kids, they know that 67 stuff, whatever that means. But yeah, 69. Grant is definitely that.
Thanks, DP.
Right. Hey, appreciate you, Grant. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Yeah, and thanks everybody who watched. Have a great night.